All right. Welcome to another edition of Don't Take Sports Talk on Instagram TV. I am your host, Daryl Watts, alongside the other host, Darren Watts.
All right, everybody, welcome. So glad you could join us today.
Yeah. Yeah. So lately here, me and Darren has been on a triumph. We have been actually discussing our mental health. And I had gone in and done fatherhood. And I also did it on my podcast too. And Darren has been dealing with some depression and anxiety, mental health that that's been haunting him. Now, I haven't really heard much about this, and this comes as a kind of a surprise to me that you're actually saying this because you're not really the type to actually express your depressions and anxiety. You do say, hey, yeah, I'm battling this, I'm battling that. But you ain't, I don't know, because this is gonna be different from me because I've never actually on, on camera.
Right.
Never have experienced this. Now you did mention like last year you was dealing with anxiety and depression because of your weight, which you have done something about it within, this time
That
now.
time.
And you have lost significant weight, but the stress fracture on your foot had really changed the whole momentum, but you're still keeping at it. So this time, I don't know what the hell this is about. What's the deal with this one?
It's pretty much what I've been telling you for the last couple of weeks. It's not really too much different from that. It's just that I'm actually going in front of the camera to say some different things. And like you said, I normally don't do this, but this would hit hard with me because you have an opportunity. You have what you call the right thing to do, to go out and really sit down and be uncomfortable. Literally go out and be uncomfortable. And that's what I did. And because I did that, I feel like it was something that backfired in my face. Okay. It felt like I wasted a ton of time. It felt like I was worthless because of it. It's like I felt like I didn't do anything wrong, but I did by going out there and trying to be, uncomfortable and, trying to help with depression. And because of that, I reached out and now I'm sitting here questioning myself. What is it that makes me a horrible person? Literally, I almost had an emotional breakdown. Now, I did do the blog on this as well.
Yeah.
I had an emotional breakdown. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Why is it that every time I befriend somebody, they run the opposite way? What am I doing so wrong that they're going the other way or ignoring me or giving me the silent treatment? That makes you think, am I really a horrible person? That makes me think, this is degrading. This is humiliating. This is pitiful for me. All of those things that people went on Facebook and said, yeah, that's exactly who I am. And I don't know what type of message is being sent out behind this. There has to be something behind this. I have my own personal theory, but I'm not going to share that personal theory now. I already shared it with you. You probably don't remember it, but I shared it with you, my personal theory on why I think this is happening. But I just kind of feel like at this point, as a human being, I have to process this situation and trying to figure out why this is happening. Why is it that I just literally had to understand that I'm being degraded, humiliated, and why am I such a horrible person? And I've been thinking about that. I cannot go to sleep at night thinking about it. It has literally drained me down the last week and a half.
Okay. I do remember this because I did forget about it. I will be honest with you. I did forget about this.
I know you did.
But no, I did. But I have been thinking about it. So I'm going to give you, other than the other opinions that I have given you, but this one I'm about to give you, in my personal opinion, is going to be a fact. At this moment, when you question yourself into an aspect of what are you doing wrong, or you make the comment that, oh, this is degrading, the first thing I want you to think about is how insurance salesmen feel. You've been through it, I've been through it. You know, they don't want to hear that shit. When you actually start to build the rapport, they get all interested because it has nothing to do with what you're talking about, right? So, in an initiative, when you start to go in to your real motive, that's when people will start to, act like they're interested and they'll turn away. But that's just the first thing you think about. Not necessarily saying that that's true.
I'm gonna say, like, I have no interior motive for this.
No, you don't have interior motives, but I'm saying that as, hey, think about it in an insurance salesman's aspect because you've been through it and I've been through it.
Yeah.
But the main thing that I want you to actually put yourself at ease about, this right here, what you're doing is just right now, you're building experience. Right now, you really don't have to think about whether this is degraded or not. Right now, it's not really the time for you to start questioning yourself. It's more about you building the experience for something way much more better than people when you're actually getting ready to start dealing with people with real issues. We got a young cat that's still 100% not in the right mind frame to understand what they're going through. That's just practice for you. It's practice. Practice. Yeah, practice right now is something you really don't want to hear, but it's practice.
I feel like this is the ultimate test and I failed at it.
No, this is not the ultimate test.
Girl, you got to remember, I went through this 4 damn years ago. I literally went through this 4 damn years ago.
Dan, it's not like you've been dealing with this for 20 years. You've dealt with it 4 years ago. Now you're bringing it back up now. This is a whole different scenario. This is just practice to gain experience. I really believe that because if you really sit down and think about the advantages and the disadvantages to where you're at right now versus sitting in your eggshell, this is practice. This is practice. This is just for you to actually build experience. So that way, you can have somebody, whoever it is, that has a real problem, that you're getting ready for that ultimate test.
My problem is, though, Daryl, that this is just literally too much quietness. How the hell is that practice? Practice is communicating, being on the same page, everything else. I'm not getting shit. I'm lucky if I'm getting just that, at least some
Okay.
sort of communication. I'm not getting anything.
Okay. Let's look at it this way. Let's put it in another way. Now, still saying that for me, that is actually building experience. All your conversations that you have with Nicole, all of them, because she always comes to you when when she has issues. She always comes to you. You know the right words to say because one, whatever she talks about is damn near family, or two, when she's talking, it's other issues that you are very familiar with. Right? So you know that based off the experience. You know what to say to Nicole, right? That's exactly my point. So when you got an outsider looking in and you don't know a damn thing about it, your whole solemn purpose is to build the experience, right? Build the experience. And then once that time has come, bingo, you are super ready to actually know what to say. Period.
I see your point. I do.
No, exactly.
I see your point.
Don't degrade yourself because you feel like that this one shot that you have didn't work out. It's not meant for you to work out. It's meant for you to build experience because the next person in line can have the same damn problem. Then what you gonna say? You know exactly what to say because you dealt with it back then, right?
Yeah.
Build that shit from experience. So when you start over, you're not starting over from ground up. You're starting over from experience. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about that as a Nicole experience because she has always went to
Nicole
you.
has always given me the experience, though. What I went through 4 years ago was also experience.
Right.
But that was the very, 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 very beginning.
That was the very beginning of it. Right. Like I said, outsider looking in. The two problems that you dealt with were outside looking in. Nicole, on the other hand, you knew that because, like I said, family or as a personal issues of hers that you are very, very familiar with. You knew what to say. You knew exactly what to say because she has come to you 50 million other times with the 50 million different problems in one at the same time.
And that's true. And I'm not gonna knock you for that. However, Daryl, I feel like there's more to this than just practice. I really do.
Okay.
There has to be more to it
I
than
understand
just because there's just it's not enough there, if you know what I mean. It's not not a lot there for me to gain that practice. And I see where you're coming from, but at least with the previous ones I was able to at least have some sort of communication. I'm not having shit with this. I don't know if this my personal theory is I believe that this is a message of some sort that I need to pay attention to something. I also have a feeling that the past is catching up to me. I have a feeling that my actions for trying to move on with my life is catching up to me in the way of me trying to befriend somebody and it being taken away. That's what I'm feeling. If you recall 4 years ago,
Yeah.
my situation,
Yeah.
and me trying to gain a attention span to just one person.
Yeah.
Instead, because everything started out perfectly.
Yeah.
Communication was good. Everything was good. Next thing you know, boom,
Boom.
fell off the face of the earth.
Mhm. Right.
Because I believe it's one common denominator. I talked about that with you.
Right. Yeah.
That
Mhm.
I feel like that may have something to do with it. I don't know. But I just feel like that it's beyond me to think that it is practice. I'm definitely taking that into consideration that it could be practice, but I think it's beyond practice. I just believe it is the ultimate test of how I handle this in particular situation.
Exactly. So for you to handle that situation, you'll be able to know how to combat it because of a common denominator.
Girl,
So when it actually come down to a actual common denominator, wait until the next time. Wait until the next time.
girl,
Now, this person may come back. This person may come back. You don't know that though, but they may come back.
girl.
Yeah. And you
Let
call them a hang.
me put it this way. There is a reason why we are talking about depression and anxiety right now. I am not doing good. Let's just be real. Okay, I'm not doing good. As you can see, I have more bags under my eyes than you can see. I'm
Yeah.
fixing to fall in it
Yeah.
because that is how much I am struggling with this. That's just how badly I am trying to figure out what makes me a horrible person. You think it's practice. Yes, it could
I
be.
don't think it's so much a practice. I'm just saying use that as your practice to gain experience, to gain the actual foundation for what you're feeling.
Like
Because
crap, to be honest, right now.
you're going to feel that way. Right. You're going to feel that way.
Well, I feel
But
helpless, worthless.
yeah, you feel helpless and worthless. Everybody is going to feel that way. But that's when you have to turn your attention span elsewhere. You're going to have to turn your attention span elsewhere because the more you keep focusing on that problem, the more you are going to actually break down. At night, when you're ready to go to sleep, you're going to have to turn, well, it's going to be hard, of course,
I
but you're
know
going to have
this
to
because
find a
you
way to
struggle
turn
with
them.
it.
Yeah, I struggle with it, but finding a way to turn your mind off, like putting on the sleep music thing, doing something to help kind of curb your mind to turn away from it, because the more you suffer from that, the more you're actually going to suffer. The suffering is going to suffer even more. Point blank, period.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll go give it my damnedest.
Because like I told you, I wrote you out. You said it on Facebook. It's all in the open too. Quit arguing with yourself, because the more that you argue with yourself, the more that you're looking for clarification. You're always
That's what
not going
I'm
to get.
doing.
You're not going to get clarification, right? You're not going to get clarification because people are not going to tell you how you're a horrible person. They're not going to tell you that. Now, if that was me in that position, oh yeah, I'd be beat up about it. But the one main thing is that you're not going to take that away because you feel like I'm a horrible person. That's your problem. Fuck off. That is your problem. You know, say I actually stepped in, listened to your ass, and dealt with everything that you said. And the next thing you know, you decide you're just gonna just slip you out to the curb. Yeah, that ain't cool. That shit ain't fair at all. I'll be wanting to one of the same shit too. But then I have to sit down and I have to realize, hey, I gotta accept this. And I'm not always gonna 100% get answers. I'm not gonna always see that. You know what I'm saying? Now, when Francis left me, you see me try to dig answers? Nope. I picked myself up and moved right on. I grieved.
You knew why. You knew why.
I knew why, but it's always what I've been saying. There's more. There's more to it. than what I see. But I've learned to realize that shit don't matter anymore to me. Only if I figure out the foundations of my problems, which you're working on. If I found out the foundations of my problems, then maybe I could push the box just a little bit. Not so much, but just a little bit to understand why some of these things are happening. Maybe because you're too hard on yourself. Maybe because you have high expectations or high standards and people can't handle it, like Nicole said, which is, I think personally, the big one is the big one.
Yeah.
You have high standards and people can't handle that. Or it's just the fact that they probably want to go into a different direction. Point blank, period.
I think I know.
It doesn't make you a horrible person.
Excuse me.
It doesn't make you a horrible person. It's just that they went into another direction. Even though they cold-flatly just dismissed you, I have a feeling that it's going to come back. I have a feeling of it.
I'm thinking so too, and I think more deeply than that.
Darren, how much more deeper are you willing to get here?
That's not. That is not what I meant. I'm not saying anything about my mental health. I mean deeper into a whole other learning curve.
I got you. That makes sense. I got you.
That's all I have.
All right. So that's another one. That is another edition of Double Take Sports Talk on Instagram TV. Once again, I'm Daryl. There's right across from me.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for watching us. Catch us next time.